Tofu is often judged as boring. Today, I'm gonna make the case to change your mind. I'm bringing proof you can see and hear the sizzling and steaming aromas and the tempting bubbling sauce. This is Hotplate Tofu. Hi everyone and welcome to the Happivore line. So about tofu, I know on its own it's one ingredient that we just walk past them in the store. Nice to have but not something you get excited over about. But for restaurants in Singapore, they transform tofu into a showstopper. One of my favorite memories as a kid was hearing this big sizzling sound even before the plate arrives at the table, steam shooting out so you can locate where it is from. And everyone, even the tables that didn't order it, will just turn and look like, ooh. You're gonna love how simple this dish actually is. You need tofu, obviously. I prefer egg tofu because that's the one I grew up with. You can substitute with soft or medium tofu, but the texture would not be as eggy and custardy. And then a few staples everyone probably have in the fridge, which is frozen vegetables and simple Chinese aromatics like ginger, garlic, scallions, proteins, minced pork and shrimp. Eggs will be the base that snuggle everyone in the cast iron. And a few common Asian sauces. If you don't have them yet, don't worry, because if you head over to my Substack and subscribe for free, you'll also get a welcome gift of my Asian pantry guide and a full recipe of what we are making today. Last but not least, the hot plate. You don't have to go and buy the exact one for this, which is why I'm using a cast iron pan instead, because I'm guessing most of you have one at home. In the end, they get hot the same way to produce all the cooking drama for you. I'm excited because this was one of my favorite dishes growing up. It's easy, affordable, honestly very fun to cook with. Let's get cooking. I always cut the tofu in half first. It makes it easier to slide off the packaging without breaking it. Then I cut it into 1-inch thick pieces, lay them out on a tray and really pat them dry. This step matters. Right before frying, I give the tofu a very light dusting of corn flour. Not too far ahead of time, that's how you get a delicate crust that holds. Heat a non-stick pan over medium-high with a thin layer of oil. Then let the tofu sear for about 2 to 3 minutes per side until golden and lightly crisp. Once they are done, transfer them to a tray with a rag or paper towel and set them aside. Next is a simple marinade for the minced pork. Nothing fancy, just sesame oil, a little corn flour, white pepper and salt. Give it a mix and let it sit while we prep everything else. For the spring onions, I separate the whites and greens. The white parts get finely chopped and go into the wok later. The green parts slice diagonally and drop it into the ice water. It helps them crisp and bright so they look nicer at the end. Next, we finely chop some garlic and finally ginger. We need about 1 inch, roughly the size of a thumb. That's good enough. Before the wok goes on, I like to mix my sauce. Doubanjiang or chili bean paste adds savory depth and a gentle hit. If you don't have it, skip it. Then oyster sauce, and next is tamari. That's it. So simple, so delicious. Now we cook everything. Heat the pan or wok until it's starting to smoke. Add a little oil. Ginger, garlic, and the white parts of spring onion goes in first. You'll get the aromatic whiff immediately. Add the minced pork and break it up so it cooks evenly and doesn't clump. Then in goes the vegetables, carrots, corn, peas. They add color and a bit of sweetness. Next, I'm using prawns that are already peeled and deveined. They cook fast, so once they turn opaque, you're ready for the sauce. Pour in the sauce mixture, followed by some stock. Let everything simmer. This is the part where I love watching those little bubbles as the flavors come together. Then I add the corn flour slurry. Watch how the sauce thickens and turns glossy. Once it looks right, take it off the heat. For the eggs, I crack them into a bowl, pinch of salt and beat them lightly. Use a fork or chopsticks, whichever you like. Heat the cast iron until it's very hot and add some oil. Pour in the egg and swirl so they coat the surface. Let them set just until they're soft and custardy around the edges. Spoon the cooked pork, prawns and vegetables over the eggs. Then I arrange the seared tofu on top. Finish with spring onion greens. I decided to add some cilantro for the extra herbal note. If you notice, unlike in Singaporean restaurants, I didn't go full sizzle and smoke to avoid setting off the fire alarm. But honestly, it's still incredibly satisfying because this is a dish you must stick in while it's hot. We're gonna try the tofu. Take a bit of the egg, the sauce, some tofu, custardy it looks. It's hot now. Uncle, I eat my food. That was calling for the uncle to have beer. Feels like a good beer food. The sauce helps to bring everything together and it clings onto the meat and the tofu and a bit of spice. Umami from the bean paste. I hope you're gonna try it. I love how the Hotplate Tofu reminds me to never underestimate the humble things. This is just tofu, shrimp, few vegetables from the freezer, and a simple sauce and pork. But the moment it hits that hot plate, it hits all your senses and you can't wait to dig in. Try it for lunch or dinner, it goes with anything and definitely with rice and beer. Tell me how your sizzle moment went. Please like and subscribe to support more of this cooking. And as always, the full recipes and more stories are on my Substack. See you in the next one!